My name is Carson Steelman, and this is On Air with Heritage Action, a podcast built for conservatives. Twice a week, we break down some of the most important issues facing our country and talk about how you can get involved today in the fight for conservative values. Welcome back to another episode of On Air with Heritage Action. By now, we've all seen the news reports from this week about the FBI raiding former President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago and U.S. Representative Scott Perry's cell phone being seized by the FBI. There are, of course, a number of problems with this unprecedented move by the FBI and Biden's Department of Justice. But unfortunately, it goes far beyond just attacking Trump. We've known for a while that Biden is wielding his power against Trump. Now, the left is taking it further and quietly working to weaponize the government against all their political enemies. Here are some of the ways they are doing it, and then what you can do about it. Think back even just over the last few months. Remember when Biden's Department of Homeland Security took time away from addressing the border crisis to attempt to create a Ministry of Truth? They literally wanted to be in charge of determining what information was true and what information was false. And no, this was not just about countering Russian disinformation. This was about censoring conservatives. What about the left's proposal to add 87,000 new IRS agents? These agents aren't going to go after the billionaires like the left promises. They are going to go after regular Americans like you and me. We also can't forget the time when the left proposed the idea of tracking all transactions over $600. Of course, there was also the news that broke from the ATF potentially illegally compiling up to 1 billion gun records. This is all about controlling the American people and forcing policies on them, even if they don't want them. Now, as we ponder this unprecedented FBI raid on a former president of the United States, it's not surprising that Biden's DOJ and the left would authorize a raid, especially when it's allegedly over records. Is the DOJ's real motive to bring about some bogus classified records charges that will bar President Trump for running for president in 2024? Was this a fishing expedition related to January 6th? Not to mention that the judge who signed off on the warrant was Bruce Reinhart. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the attorney who quit his job as a U.S. attorney to represent Jeffrey Epstein's employees. Oh, and he also donated thousands of dollars to Obama. You really can't make this stuff up. Next, watch this clip of Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy ask the White House press secretary whether this administration is weaponizing the Justice Department.
Is this administration weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
Peter, the president believes in the rule of law. The president believes in the independence of the Department of Justice.
That's a yes or no?
No, that is
White House.
no. It's a yes or a no for you. I'm answering the question. You may not like it, but I'm answering the question, I'm answering the question, and I'm telling you that we are not going to comment on a criminal investigation. The president has been very clear. I laid out what his thoughts were back on January 7th in 2021 about how he saw the Department of Justice. And I'm just going to leave it there. We're not going to comment from here, from this White House, on a criminal investigation that is currently happening.
Is the White House weaponizing the Justice Department? That's a pretty straightforward question that should be answered with the pretty straightforward answer of no. But for this White House, apparently the answer isn't that simple. Between this raid, the seizing of Representative Perry's cell phone, and the sham January 6th committee prime-time produced hearings, it is so obvious that the left is pulling out every trick they can muster up to try to punish their enemies and help themselves in an election year. But there is no doubt that this is just the start. We no longer have the luxury of standing back and letting the left's assault on our republic continue. The FBI's raid proves that the federal government will stop at almost nothing to attack its ideological opponents, no matter if they are American families, business owners, or even a former president. By politicizing our Justice Department, the Biden administration has also created two standards of justice. They will ignore allegations against Democrats like Hillary Clinton, clean up messes for Joe Biden and his son Hunter, but will raid a former president? It doesn't add up. If this is how they will treat a former president of the United States, imagine how they will treat conservative families and business owners, conservative nonprofits, or even you and your family. We all need to be engaged at every level of government to protect our values. We need to be regularly communicating with our elected representatives, both in our state government and at the federal level. We need to hold them accountable for the votes they take to grow and weaponize the IRS. We need to demand that they protect free speech and promote our cherished standard of justice. If they don't, their failure should be top of mind for every single voter at the ballot box in November. And when we hopefully take back Congress, our senators and representatives need to conduct serious oversight investigations on this administration, especially on Biden Attorney General Merrick Garland. We also need to be engaging in the rulemaking process, ensuring that the Biden administration hears our concerns as they try to unilaterally make major changes to our country. Heritage Action has a ton of resources on our website for even more ways to get involved. We have activism toolkits on individual issues, and we keep track of how individual members of Congress are voting on the issues that really matter. We also host trainings and events across the country for those looking to get involved, especially when it comes to election integrity and running for school board. And as a reminder, the U.S. House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on the reconciliation language that includes the increase in IRS agents this week. Don't let the Mar-a-Lago story distract you too much. We don't have a lot of time, and we need every citizen to contact their representatives on this and tell them that this is unacceptable. We must demand equal justice in a government that will promote our cherished American ideals instead of destroying them. That's it for another episode of On Air with Heritage Action. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you heard in today's episode, please click the follow button. If you want to receive a text message each time a new episode airs, text podcast to 51776 and you'll never miss an episode. That's podcast to 51776. Hi, it's me again, and we need your help. If you like the insights and activist resources we are providing, please take 1 minute and help us spread the word. Share this episode with friends and family on social media, email, or text. We need everyone's help in the fight to hold Washington accountable. And don't forget, you are also able to subscribe and listen to episodes on your smartphone. Just open up your favorite podcast app and search for On Air with Heritage Action. Click subscribe and download episodes so that you can take them with you on the go. It's the best way to make sure you never miss a thing. Thanks.